Welcome back again, everyone. This is Fox. Something a bit special today. I'm really going to start kicking off my Satisfactory videos now. Today I'm going to be giving away this save for free. There's a link in the description to my Discord where you can download this save file. The whole save file is based around this setup, what you can see here, which is 140 nuclear power plants. On the right hand side we've got 70 using the uranium fuel rods. The waste then gets sent over to the second factory, produced into plutonium fuel rods, sent down, and then these 70 nukes are running off plutonium fuel rods. I only really needed 64, but to keep it symmetrical I did 70 and then just underclocked them to 88.8888%, believe it or not. It's a weird number, but yeah, that's what we got. So yeah, pretty cool, eh? As I said, this is going to be a brief overview, a quick fly around, and then I'm going to break it down. I'm going to do a series of maybe 5 or 6 videos going through everything. The whole uranium fuel rod production, where the waste goes, the plutonium fuel rod production. We're going to look over how I laid out the power plants, what made me decide how to set them out like this. I'll talk a little bit about area actions, which enable me to copy and paste these sort of flower petals, if you like, and get this octagon shape. But yeah, that's for later videos. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like this. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I've noticed that a lot of the people that are watching my videos aren't subscribed, so please subscribe. It does help me out a lot. So yeah, we're going to have a quick look around. So as I said, 70 nukes per side. Fuel rods are made in this factory. They come down the ramp on the train, down the spiral, get dropped off. Under here is where all the load balancing is. You can't really see it because it's quite a shallow floor, but this is where all the uranium fuel rods get split and then all the waste comes and joins back. It goes back into the train, back up the spiral in reverse. Same thing goes for the plutonium fuel rods where they're made. They come down on the train, down the spiral to the train station. Fuel rods get dumped off. Plutonium waste gets put back on. Then the train goes back up to the top and completes the cycle. There are 9 power plants per petal. As I say, 9 8s are 72. There would have been, when I created the first nuclear snowflake, if you like, there were 72 power plants, but where these joined back to back, I had to do away with 2 from each side. So there would have been 144 if I'd have made this a bit more, if there was a bit more room between these factories. It doesn't bug me too much. I've just got these clusters overclocked to make up for the amount that they are short from the 2 missing, but my only gripe is that I didn't plan these factories big enough, far enough apart to make sure that these 2 petals could join. But hey ho, you live and learn. I wasn't even going to make plutonium. I wasn't even going to use nuclear power plants that run off of plutonium fuel rods. I was just going to sink the fuel rods. But once I built these 2 factories and it was very symmetrical, it was crying out for another snowflake over here that mirrored that one and made everything look, as I say, lovely and symmetrical. So yeah, nothing crazy about these really. I mean, it's really straightforward. It's a very good way of doing it with the trains coming in. It means you've only got one line coming in and out, dropping the rods off and getting rid of the waste. As you can see, all of the water extractors are beneath. Again, I've kept everything quite simple for the main reason that I want to go through this step by step. And for people that are, well, even intermediate people, this might be something that you wouldn't be able to do. So yeah, you're going to be able to learn something. If you download the save, follow my videos through step by step, I'm sure you're going to learn something. Yeah, so I've kept everything nice and simple. I haven't covered any belts or pipes or anything like that so that you can follow where the items are going. It's easy to track and trace and see what's going from what building to next. Hopefully the videos I'm doing as well will help you along the way. So yeah, each nuclear power plant's got 3 water extractors. If you're thinking of doing this, don't give them exactly 300 M3 of water and try and let a Mach 1 pipe deal with that, because it just doesn't. You need to give them a tiny bit more. I mean, I just let these 3 sit on full, so they're getting 360 mil M3 of water. Mach 2 pipes, they never stall, never fail. As you can see, everything's on full, everything's running perfect. These always say 0% for some reason on these power plants. Even when they're running flat out, it never shows you that they're running 100%. Weird. It must be a bug. But yeah, not much to see here really, apart from how cool it looks. What are we, 5 minutes in already? Yep, I didn't want to, I'm elaborating as usual. So this is the Uranium Fuel Rod factory. The raw materials are all coming in by train. You can see the uranium comes from the top of this cliff. I've done this crazy little spiral train track to get up here. This is an impure node giving me 300 a minute. There is then another normal node I've got out in the swamp area. It's not in the swamp, it's in the red forest. Maybe we can find it quick, just so I can show you. This is for the, here's the other uranium. It's coming from this normal node here. Drones are picking it up, shipping it back. I'm getting a lot more uranium than I need over there at the minute. If, as and when I want to do something else with it, I will. The only other factory we've got in this entire save, apart from obviously the nuclear factory, is my battery factory, which is down here. Obviously, I needed drones. I got to the point where I needed drones. The trains weren't keeping up with certain goods, so I needed to bring extra goods in with drones. I've already done a video on this. There'll be a link in the description to this video if you want to go back and watch how I built this little battery factory and drone port, if you like. But yeah, here it is. This is making me 180 batteries a minute. There are 4 drone ports here ready to ship the batteries out around the world as and when they are needed. I'm only using 2 of those ports at the minute. Probably could have combined them into 1, to be fair, because they're close enough for me to run belts between them, but hey ho. Let's get back over here quick. So yeah, raw materials for both the uranium and plutonium fuel rods are all being bussed together via a train. As I say, this is the uranium train station. Got sulfur, quartz, coal, deuterium, iron and copper. They're all being belted in, dragged in from around the area. You can see they're coming in from various places to the train station, and then everything is being shipped up to the first floor. This is where everything gets dropped off. Then I'm just going to slow my flying speed down, fly medium. If you're worrying about this being vanilla compatible, it is. I only use flying mode and a creative mode to enable me to build these sort of things, but all the parts and everything I used is vanilla, so you're going to have no problem loading this in your game. It's not very vanilla friendly in here, if I'm honest. I've just put in some IP tubes to get you up and down from the floors. If you are using this, if you are going to download this save and you're going to use it for solely for tutorial purposes to run along with the videos that I'm doing, I suggest downloading the Satisfactory mod manager, install Impact Utility and get a true flight mode, because if you've got the backpack on and not the backpack or the hover pack on in here and not the hazmat suit, you're going to die very quickly. The whole place is irradiated like crazy. So yeah, I mean, I know vanilla purists, you're not going to be happy with that, but if you, as I said, if you're using it just to educate yourself on how this sort of thing can be done, then download the SMM. Oh, why are these yellow? Are they stalled? Yeah, everything's full. It's not to worry. Yeah, just download the Satisfactory mod manager and get yourself a mod that can give you true flight. That way you can wear the hazmat suit as well, and you can really fly around and see what's going on without too much hassle. But yeah, suffice to say, all raw ore is coming in where it can be. I'm using the pure recipes, so these are making pure copper ingots, pure iron ingots, pure deuterium ingots. The raw quartz then is being made into the 2 items that you can do from it from scratch, which is silica and quartz crystal. So yeah, silica constructors, quartz crystals. Coal is coming in, being mixed with some of the iron ingots that we made down there and turned into steel ingots. So this is all your base materials, the one step up from raw materials, or raw material processing floor, if you like. We then go up to the 2nd floor. There's a lot going on in here. These are crystal oscillators. I'm using the base recipe for this. The main reason I didn't want to use any oil, I just didn't want to use any oil to make my fuel rods, so I specifically chose recipes to avoid any oil products. Normally I would use the insulated crystal oscillator recipe, which uses rubber. Again, chose to go with the default one because it's a piece of cake, this stuff you need. It's just quartz crystal cable and reinforced iron plates. They're so easy to make. I mean, you need a lot more manufacturers. But yeah, I've avoided all oil. No oil is used in the process of these uranium fuel rods or plutonium fuel rods. So we've got crystal oscillators being made there. This is the end of the line. We should go back this way. So the raw material came up. I chose to use the iron wire recipe for this. I don't know why. I inputted it in the calculator when I did it. So these are all making wire from iron instead of copper. 2 floors, shit ton of wire was needed because we needed a fair bit of cable. This is caterium, so the copper ingots are being mixed with caterium ingots to make quick wire. So yeah, quick wire. What's these? These is iron wire, as I said. 2 floors of iron wire. We've then got screws and iron plates, I believe. Yep, for the reinforced iron plates. So the screws, iron plates come down here. They're then being fed around. So these making the reinforced iron plates. No, these are stators. Where are the reinforced iron plates? Are they on the next floor? They're here. Reinforced iron plates. So the cable is here as well somewhere. Is it these two? No, they're iron rods. They were needed for something. Cable is here somewhere. So this is all your tier 1 or next level up from ingots, if you like. Here's the cable. Let's trace it back. Cable. 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 So this is cable being made from the iron wire. So cables, reinforced iron plates. Cables and the wire is also being used here to make the beacons, and the iron rods and the iron plates. Crystal oscillators were down here. So yeah, some manufacturers in here. I always load balance my manufacturers. You're going to see that theme throughout the entire factory. The main reason being, if for some reason something fucks up in the line, you mess something up. Say for instance, my reinforced iron plates packed up. Everything else ran dry on the machines, or everything else backed up. If you overflow your machines and you're outputting the exact right amount, it's like flicking a switch back on. These belts don't need to be full. Every machine gets the right amount. You can just turn it back on again once you rectify any issue. With a lot of manufacturers needing a lot of materials, it's always best to do that. Then we come up to the processing floor. This is where all of the stuff gets turned into the uranium fuel rods. So just made on that floor below comes up here. We've got crystal oscillators. This would be stators, I believe, or beacons. Electromagnetic control rods. They are being made down here. Electromagnetic control rods being made from stators and AR limiters. These are the AR limiters. These are using the quick wire and steam copper sheets. They were made on the same floor as the copper ingots. Refineries kept on the same floor. So electromagnetic control rods. The alt I'm using for my uranium cells, I believe it is an alt. I think it's the basic one actually. Uranium fuel rod. No, it is the alt. This is the one I used in my last playthrough as well. So it uses encased uranium cell, electromagnetic control rods, crystal oscillators, and beacons. So the electromagnetic control rods are being made in these assemblers here. This is the encased uranium cell. This is a really good alt because it just chucks sulfur straight in there. So uranium, silica, sulfur, and quick wire. No oil products needed. And then this is uranium fuel rod. So the encased uranium cells we've just seen. The electromagnetic control rods being made in the assemblers. Crystal oscillators downstairs, and the beacons. The beacons must be downstairs as well. But yeah, that's it. I overclocked or underclocked manufacturers to get them multiples of 9. I believe there's 33 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 27. 27 manufacturers making uranium fuel rods, making 14.4 uranium fuel rods per minute. They then go to the train station, down the ramp, feed those nukes. The waste comes back up, gets dropped off here. You can see the waste gets dropped off here, then it goes underneath, comes down the waste bridge, (720) uranium waste a minute, then gets processed later on in the factory over here. So this is the plutonium fuel rod factory. Same thing. Trains, such a pain. God, I know why I didn't use them in the last save. Even dealing with a full belt, you need like 3 carriages to deal with a 780 belt of stuff if it's far away. It's just such a pain. Apart from them looking awesome, which they do, when you have giant trains like this, they're just such a pain to use. I would just belt everything. In my last save, I belted everything. Everything runs perfect. But yeah. Anyway, suffice to say, all the materials, again, I've bussed to 3 train stations. This one, it's got nitric acid and bauxite, nitrogen gas. Let's follow these to get to the nitrogen gas place. This doesn't look very pretty. I threw this together and intended to come back. A lot of pumps down here getting this going. Oh, you don't have to pump it, do you? Where's it gone? Yeah, doesn't look brilliant. I just wanted it to work. So then I piped it all the way to the train station. Shipping the bauxite over here. I don't remember the exact numbers. I'll talk more about the in-depth numbers as I go through the stages of process in the later videos. But yeah, the bauxite and nitrogen gas are there. Down this corkscrew to a little train station here where we're picking up coal and sulfur. Then down to the main train station where we're picking up limestone, copper, iron and quartz. Now the quartz wasn't able to keep up. The train wasn't able to keep up with the quartz even though it was this close, so I had to split it and then I've ran it up inside the foundation frame up to the top, then fed it into the train station. And all of those goods coming in, so this is really heavy irradiated in here. You are going to need the hazmat suit on at all times. In the bin where you'd get dropped off when you download this save, I've put a load of these iodine infused fuels in a bin for you. So yeah, this is where it comes in. This is the nitrogen gas. So the bauxite is being fed down here, turned into alumina solution. The alumina solution mixed with coal to make scrap. Scrap is then making pure aluminium ingots down here. This is all the other raw stuff, same as before, all the base products if you like. We've got iron ingots, copper ingots, quartz crystals, and then I've started to do some next tier up stuff. So we've got normal copper wire, iron plates, iron plates. This is sulfuric acid. This is nitric acid. Using the iron plates that we made on this floor earlier. Nitrogen gas, water, iron plates. Everything in this system is very, very, very carefully fed back into each other. The water that comes from the scrap, excuse me. The water that comes from the scrap refineries is feeding all of these refineries. Yeah, the water that's produced by the scrap refineries is feeding virtually everything on this floor. It's feeding all of the iron ingots. Talk about this, how I got this working smoothly. It's also feeding the wet concrete factory. This is quartz crystal. This is copper ingots. So yeah, it's feeding everything on this floor. I did have to inject a little bit into the system from elsewhere. I was giving the alumina solution refineries more water than they needed, so I've just injected a little bit into each line where it needed it. I believe this one needs 100. This one was a lot less. This was virtually bang on. I think it's 10. Yeah, just 10 M3 a minute. So yeah, managing the excess water from these refineries has been very tricky, but I managed to do it seamlessly. So yeah, everything is then going up to the next floor again. Excuse me. I've done a hypertube thing for you again. Don't know whether this will let me going up while I'm flying. No. Then on to the next floor. On this floor we're doing, again, an awful lot. The aluminium ingots are coming up and making aluminium casing. I'll split everything at source, so these machines are overclocked and underclocked to give me the exact amount that I need in these bins to then go on to different sections of the production. It's a cool tip that I use. I don't see many people doing that. Most people try and balance it off the belts and it's a right pain in the ass. But again, we'll be going through all this later down the line. I've then got reinforced iron plates for crystal oscillators again later down the line. These are the foundries making steel ingots. So I use the pure steel ingot, solid steel ingot. It uses iron ingots and coal to make steel ingots. We then have over here encased industrial beams. The wet concrete from down below is being brought up, mixed with steel beams, which is being made down here. This is coming from the solid steel ingots. There's steel beams and steel pipes, obviously. Steel pipes are used later down the line. They're going into the bus at the back and then off. Some of the steel pipes are being used here. Heavy modular frame, using the encased industrial build we spoke about, steel pipe. The remainder of the wet concrete from downstairs. This was the encased industrial beams. Where are the modular frames being made? I may have made them modular frames downstairs, unless they're here. Yeah, I think the modular frames came from downstairs. It's been a while since I've ventured back here. Let's follow it back. No, modular frames are here. These three. All overclocked. Again, so I could split everything by 3. Load balance everything as much as I can. These 3 manufacturers were making the heavy modular frames. We've then got these constructors making silica. The silica and silica and copper sheets, which again was made with the refineries downstairs, is making circuit boards. Circuit boards are then being shipped up to the next floor, along with everything else that's produced on this floor, such as fused modular frame. This is using heavy modular frames, aluminium casing and nitrogen gas. You can see the gas being built up from downstairs. Split fused modular frames. These blenders, 12 blenders, are making me the non-fissile uranium and some water. This water again is not wasted. This is being fed back downstairs into the sulfuric acid refineries, if I remember. Yep. So the water, everything's all balanced perfect. The water from the blenders making the non-fissile uranium is back downstairs and feeding the sulfuric acid, which works in tandem with this because this needs sulfuric acid, nitric acid, silica and uranium waste. You can see the uranium waste coming in, being split both sides, and then it's all load balance. 18 blenders. All overclocked just slightly. I could have done 12, but I didn't have enough room in here. So then the blenders are making non-fissile uranium. These manufacturers are making the crystal oscillators with the stuff we made on the floor downstairs. Then everything goes up to be processed on the top floor. These 2 are making the computers, crystal oscillators and the circuit boards we spoke about earlier. And everything goes up to the top floor. This is the final production floor of the plutonium fuel rods. These assemblers here, making pressure conversion cube. They use the fused modular frame and radio control units. Radio control units were being made downstairs. I can't remember where, but believe me, they are. I think it must be their crystal oscillators. Their crystal oscillators. Must be these three. No? Pass. Trust me, they're here somewhere. Oh well. You'll have to stick with the future videos to find out where they're coming from. But yeah, these are the oh, they're down here. Excuse me. Aluminum casing, crystal oscillators and computers making the radio control units. They get mixed with the fused modular frame to make pressure conversion cube. A non-fissile uranium comes up here, mixed with more aluminum casing to make the encased plutonium cells. Then this is the final production line done in assemblers. This uses the pressure conversion cube and encased plutonium cells to make plutonium. 25 minutes, ooh, it's a lot longer than I thought. Yes, so that is the end output. Plutonium fuel rod. This was my ultimate aim. I was just sinking it. You can see there's a sink here doing nothing, and I thought, what the heck, we might as well use it. So when they're made, they go to the train station, round the loop, down the ramp to feed the second cluster of nuclear reactors. The waste then comes back up. I thought, what the hell can I do with the waste? So it comes back up here, gets unloaded by train, goes down, back into the waste bridge. Excuse me. Comes back this way on a Mark II belt because it was 60. I can't remember what it was. 64 a minute or something, so just more than a Mark I belt. Comes along here. It comes up this cool little escalator that I made. The way I did this, you can see these foundation frames went all the way up, and then I stepped the belts up inside. There was a bit of clipping, so I deleted it all, but then I just ran the two pipes up the middle. I think it looks pretty cool. So this is the uranium waste coming up here. Let's get installed in the roof. Out the way. I haven't even finished this yet. I think there's enough room to stack. There would be enough room to stack another set of containers on here if I shifted the floor up a little bit, so it can easily be done. And I haven't even filled the entire space. This has been running for a good 20 hours now, so 25 hours, and I'm only half a bin full, so there's a few hundred hours worth of storage up here if need be, and then you could easily extend this. The sky's the limit. You could just take the floor off and just move it up. This is just for aesthetics, this little roof. So you could just keep building this up however high you wanted to go. Keep the storage up there out of the way. I mean, the whole place is radiated anyway. I didn't see much point in shipping it off somewhere else and radiating another part of the map, because this is just one big giant radiated blob. But yeah, the roof roof looks pretty cool. The two buildings are identical in dimensions. I made sure of that. They are as identical as can be, these two buildings. The floors may be at slightly different heights inside, but as you can see, the water extractors for these processors are hidden inside this wall. Just show you now. The water extractors we needed are hidden in here. Pretty cool. I boxed them all in and then thought it looked a pretty cool feature, like if we cantilevered everything off with these metal supports front and back. I haven't really finished it on the back edge here. I've started to do it over here. But yeah, anyway, that's it. That's half hour of me roughly explaining what's going on here. I'm going to do quite in depth if people want to do this exactly or use the same method I did. This is all spawns from one normal node of uranium. So 600 uranium spawns all of this. Crazy when you think about it. So yeah, next stage, next video, will be just about raw materials. So just talk numbers, what we needed for the uranium. I may go into then the first part of production, so the raw ingots, if you like, pure iron ingots, pure copper ingots, pure KTM ingots, and quartz and the silicon. I may delve into that. I'll tell you the exact numbers, talk about how I balanced stuff and my thought process along the way. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this. As I said early on in the video, this save file is available to download from my Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Please give this a thumbs up if you like this, and please subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, stay tuned for a lot more videos, a lot more Satisfactory stuff to come. If you've got any suggestions on what the big meme could be for this save, I'm thinking these, whatever they are, these rocket propulsion, thermal propulsion rockets. Apparently this is a crazy meme. It needs turbo motors, modular engines, cooling systems, fused modular frames. Yeah, that's a big job. What else we got? Nuclear pasta's pretty spicy, isn't it? No, not really. Piece of cake. What were the other? What were the other space elevator parts? Thermal propulsion rocket. The cooling system must have been one of them. Magnetic field generator. Versatile framework. Batteries. Yeah, anyway, I'm digressing as always, but excuse me, as I was saying, please subscribe, give it a like. We'll see you in the next one.